What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on NIO stock.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video, first of all, I will show you where we are on the price chart and how we get there. Then I will continue with the fundamental news and I will show you why this asset lost about 17% of its value during just several sessions. And at the end of this video, I will share my thoughts and my technical analysis. And I will try to find some bullish setups on NIO. So let's start with the price chart. I made my previous video right here at this point, when this asset was approaching to its crucial point at $8.8 mark. And I've told you previously that we shouldn't break this bottom, because if it breaks it, and we have this small blip below the range of $8.8, we confirm, we pretty much eliminate the movement to the upside as our motive wave, because from this bottom we might have potentially, this is the first, second, third, somewhere here we should have a fourth wave. And in this case, if we overlap with the fourth wave the top of our first wave, we might have a diagonal, and this diagonal shouldn't hit higher targets. But instead of this, we broke this previous bottom, and this means we have the retracement that is deeper than the initial wave, and this pretty much was the violation of main rule according to Elliott wave theory, because we cannot have the retracement deeper than the initial wave, and that is why we are pretty much in downtrend, we confirm it, and the next range where we might land probably is $8 mark. But I will try to find some bullish setups on NIO in just several minutes, and for now let me show you why we have this harsh sell-off. And let me show you this article that was published on April the 7th on Monthly Fool, and it says, why NIO stock sunk over 14% this week. And let me quote you the key points. NIO's deliveries dropped in the first quarter, but that might not be the biggest concern. Larger competitors are already having success in its markets, and more is coming. Toyota will soon be introducing 2 new EV models in China. And definitely, we have a lot of electric vehicles on the Chinese market, and the biggest auto manufacturers, the biggest legacy auto manufacturers also want to sell their vehicles on the Chinese market, because it is the biggest market in the Asian part of the world, and definitely it is extremely lucrative for EV makers. So, and on top of Toyota, let me show you that Tesla also had a very strong position on Chinese market, and they expanding their presence in Europe, and definitely this leads to higher exposure on a broader audience, and this leads to lower part of the market that left for other EV manufacturers. Definitely it was the movement to the downside that was quite harsh, and we have to be prepared for this. And I've told you when I made my previous video right here, the video before my previous video, at this very point, that we should land somewhere lower, and we should land probably at $9.5 mark or even lower. And I have to say that my win rate on NIO is quite high, and I made a lot of calls recently for the bullish setups, and all of them was successful. You can watch several of my previous videos and prove my words. But right now we have not so much bullish news directly related to NIO. Let me show you that on cnvpost.com we have just several of them, and they are not so bullish, I have to say. So let me quote you first of all this one that was published on April the 10th, and it says, wait times for both NIO ES7 and ET5 shortened to about 2 weeks. And let me quote you the subtitle. Both the NIO ES7 SUV and ET5 sedan now have expected delivery dates of about 2 weeks compared to about 3 weeks for both previously. And on the one hand, we might think that it is quite good news if they increased their production rates, but we all know that in Q1 2022 their delivery numbers are not so impressive, and this means, in my opinion, it is the sign that they have some problems with the demand on their vehicles. And definitely this anticipation is not the best for investors, and that is why NIO is losing its positive momentum. On top of that, let me show you quite decent news on NIO. And as you can see, NIO to allow Chinese customers to lock in ES7 orders starting April the 10th. So today is the date when this deadline expires. And this means we might see quite decent news from new customers that might be positive and negative. And depending on this news, definitely we might see the next potential movement on the short-term perspective for NIO's price action. So, and let's continue with the technical analysis, but before we dive deep right here, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, as already mentioned in my previous video, when we broke this previous bottom with this movement to the downside, we pretty much confirm the price target of Algo trades, and this price target is at negative 0.236 Fibonacci retracement level at the price point of $6.78, and the entry point for shorters, for Algo shorters, was right here at 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. If I pull this tool from the swing high to swing low, they always use this type of pattern, and this means $6.78 is on the table right now. But let me show you that I thought that we might have this bottom is lower than this one, and technically, if it is the real case, we might have this is our first wave, second, third, fourth and fifth. We might have it like this. So first, second, third, fourth and fifth. And if it is the case, we didn't violate the Elliott wave theory rule. We just have to pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from its lowest point to its highest point. And this, as you can see, we broke the golden pocket range. This means we might go lower, but we are still bullish. And unfortunately, this bottom is higher than this one just by 2 cents, and this means we cannot count on this movement to the upside as completed wave. But on the other hand, let me show you that I tried to find the same pattern on 9866 ticker symbol. It is the same company but on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and let me show you that right here we clearly had movement to the downside without any doubts that this bottom is the lowest one. And we have this movement to the upside that also has 2 waves. Let me show you that it is the first, second, probably it is the third one. But right here, let me show you that I don't need this tool right now. Let me show you this in details. This bottom is lower than this one. This means we have a very tiny hope that we might have another leg to the upside, and we might have something like this in a diagonal, like this, and we might have probably the double top pattern. And if it is the case, we still have an opportunity to hit higher targets. And in general, I don't think that we can rely on this setup right now, because we have to break some crucial points for NIO. And these crucial points, let me show you that if it is the case, we can count a clear ABC correction right here, with the assumption that we don't see this type of blip below this bottom. We have, as you can see, we have A wave as a 3-wave structure, 1, 2, 3. We have B wave as a 3-wave structure as well, 1, 2, 3. And this means we have A, B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in our C wave. So technically this setup is correct, and it doesn't violate any Elliott wave theory rules except this one, except this tiny blip. But if it is the case, we might have a bounce to the upside. And even if it is not the case, let me show you that we might have the bounce to unload this structure to the downside, these 5 waves. And in this case, we have to pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from this top to this bottom. And we have to hit, if this bottom holds, we have to hit at least $9.18 in worst case scenario, and probably even 0.32 at 9.45 or even $9.5 mark. This means it implies from our current range about 3% of downside potential, about 2.22% of upside potential to the first price target. This definitely is not the best choice in terms of risk to reward ratio, and about 5.36% to our second price target. also not the best risk to reward ratio. This means I have to say that probably we should wait. We should wait for the confirmation of the trend either way. And in just several days I will probably do another update on NIO's technical analysis, and I will show you my thoughts about this stock. So I think from the technical standpoint that's it for now. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on